Some of the longest serving veterans in the Senate and the House say that the 113th Congress is the worst Congress they've ever served in. So it's pretty bad. And what they point to is the lack of productivity and the acrimony, which has bogged everything down and made it unpleasant to boot. Dingell says that this is the least productive Congress that he can imagine. It passed only 62 substantive bills in 2013. Dingell says that the so-called do-nothing Congress, the 80th Congress under Harry Truman, actually got more accomplished than this Congress. Dingell's been in the House for nearly 60 years. He wasn't around during the do-nothing Congress, but his dad was, and he says that this Congress makes the do-nothing Congress seem productive by comparison.
Remember Harry Truman? What was the Congress, the 80th? This place is, remember, we have 7 or 8 months in which we might retrieve ourselves, but there's not much sign that we're going to improve or things are going to get better.
Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
I raise a point of order that the vote on cloture under Rule 22 for all nominations other than that for Supreme Court of the United States is by majority vote.
McCain says that what makes this one of the worst Congresses he's ever served in is Reed's decision to trigger the nuclear option, which he says has poisoned bipartisan relations in the Senate and undermined the fabric of the institution. He says it's going to be years before trust is regained, and he says that the reason that there's been stalemate on a lot of things is because of the lack of bipartisan trust.
What makes this Congress different for me and really causes me great concern is when they exercise the nuclear option, because the animosities generated by that are very deep, but also I believe that it fundamentally changed the way the Senate has worked.
Our leaders have outlined a vision for how we would tackle immigration reform.
Boehner has been under pressure from Tea Party conservatives to back away from immigration reform. They're worried that a sprawling reform bill could become a replay of the Obamacare law, which they said was too big for lawmakers to understand when they passed it. So they don't want to see another comprehensive bill passed. Republicans don't want the issue of immigration reform to muddle the 2014 midterm election, which they want to be focused entirely on the Affordable Care Act and its problems. They worry that immigration reform could provoke a nasty internal fight that would sap the enthusiasm of the base.